Do you ever feel stuck playing the same fingerpicking patterns over and over and over again? Maybe you've learnt a few variations of some fingerpicking patterns, but when it comes to creating your own, you don't know where to start. In this video, you're going to learn how to build great fingerpicking patterns from scratch, and more importantly, how to tweak them so that you can actually apply them to real music. So whether you've been playing for a while or you're new to fingerpicking, stick around, because in this video you're going to gain the tools needed to create your own great sounding fingerpicking patterns that you can apply to any music that you like. Before we get started, if you could like this video right now, I'd really appreciate it. It'll push it out there into the world of YouTube for others to find. And if you like the content I release each week, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to the channel. Also, below the description, below this video, there is a link to an ebook with videos all about getting started fingerpicking guitar in an exciting way, not the usual boring drills. There's a number of ideas I have there for you if you are interested in fingerpicking and developing your skills further. So I think you'll love that, so check that out. But right now, let's get to the video. So there's 3 steps to this process. Step 1 is creating the pattern. Step 2 is applying a rhythm to that pattern. Step 3 is taking that pattern that now has the rhythm and applying it to some sort of musical context, okay, a chord progression, etc. So here's a pattern that I've come up with, just on open strings to begin. Okay, that's my pattern. 1 and, well, there's no rhythm yet, so I shouldn't count the rhythm, but there's a certain amount of attacks to that pattern, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. For what we're doing here today, I would recommend anything from 4 to 7 attacks. If you have too few, the rhythm pattern won't be that suited for a fingerpicking pattern at least. And if you have too many, you won't get as much variety with your rhythms, as you'll see shortly. So I've chosen 6 attacks. I'm not talking about the beat here. There's no reference to beat or rhythm yet. It's just a pattern. 6th string, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 4th, 3rd. Okay, I just chose, you can do whatever you like. I would start with the thumb on a lower string, but after that, whatever you like. Okay, I just chose that. There's nothing magic about that. There's nothing magic about the number 6 other than it falls in the range of 4 to 7, as I said, right? So that is my pattern. So rhythmically, we could do a variety of things here. All we're going to do is make sure our pattern is 1 bar in length. It can't be less, it can't be more. It's got to fit in a bar of 4/4 time. That's what we're going to be in here today, 4/4 time. So we've got 4 quarter notes to the bar. I could take this pattern, I'll just stay on open strings here for now, and I might do this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, so that's my pattern, the 6 attacks, arranged rhythmically across a 4/4 bar. I've got a quarter note, then I've got 2 pairs of 1/8 notes, and then I finish on a quarter note. That completes a bar of 4/4 time. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. So essentially you just want to decide which notes are going to be quarter notes and which will be 1/8 notes. We'll just work with those rhythms because they're the ones you're going to find the most in fingerpicking patterns. Quarter notes, 1/8 notes. So don't worry about triplets or 16th notes or anything like that. We're just going to stay with quarter notes and 1/8 notes. So there's a lot of different ways we could do this. Let's look at another one. Sticking with the pattern, right? The pattern's the same, but the rhythm is going to change. So we might do this. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So I've got 2 quarter notes for the first 2 beats, and then 1/8 notes for the last 2. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay, so that's another way that I could rhythmically or apply rhythm to that pattern, right? And that's a fingerpicking pattern. I'm just going to create a few different ones here so you can see the variety that you can get. And it will be dictated by whether you have 5 or 7 or 6 attacks. You can see if you only had 2 attacks, it kind of would be kind of boring and not really much of a fingerpicking pattern, generally speaking, right? So anything between 4 and 7 will give you a lot of different varieties that fit the rhythms that you typically come across in fingerpicking patterns. So here's another one. We could go 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. So now we've got quarter note, 1/8 note, quarter note, 1/8 notes. Different way you could have placed it across a 4/4 bar. And here's another one. 1 and 2, 3, and 4. 1 and 2, 3, and 4. Or we could go 1 and 2, 3, 4, and 1 and 2, 3, 4, and. Or we could even dot the quarter note. So still quarter note, but we're going to dot it so it lasts for an extra half beat. And we might do this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Or we might do this, the sort of the flip side of that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? The point is, once you've got your pattern, you've got your number of attacks, 4 to 7, and you've sorted out the order of the strings you're going to pluck, that's the pattern, then we add the rhythm to it. And as you can see, there's more than one way you can add the rhythm. There's more than one rhythm you can create. So I would encourage you to create at least one, would be enough, of course, but if you could come up with 2 or 3 different variations or even more, that'd be really good, because apart from building and creating your own finger picking patterns here, what you're doing is working on rhythm, and it's such a valuable thing to do. So even if you went no further with this and you just created all these rhythms, your timing and awareness of the beat is going to really improve drastically, and that's going to shine through in your playing in many, many, many ways. Up until this point in time, we've really just been working with rhythm and creating different 1-bar rhythms of 4/4 time. Really valuable thing to do. We've done it with a pattern. Now we're going to take that and apply it to a musical context. Okay, so let's apply this rhythm. Let's pick one first, right? We had a number of rhythms there. So I'm going to take the one that went 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. So I'm going to take that arrangement of the quarter note, 2 pairs of 8th notes on beats 2 and 3, and then finishing with 4 quarter note on the 4th beat. That's my rhythm. I'm going to stick to it, but now I need to take it and apply it. We've got a finger picking pattern there, but we've got to fit it to a particular musical context. First one, take a chord progression here where we're going to be on a bar for G for 1 bar, D for a bar, A minor for a bar, and C for a bar. Okay, so when I play the pattern on the G chord, it's pretty much as it was, because the root note is on the 6th string. So I can still pluck that 6th string as the first note in my pattern. 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, 1, 2 and 3 and 4. But when I take that pattern and I apply it to D, I've now got to make it fit the D chord. It's not going to be any good plucking the 6th string, because that's not where the root note of D is. And a general guideline is to start with the root note when you're playing a finger picking pattern. Not always the case, but for this and a lot of the time, that's what you will do. So when we go to D chord, the root note is on the 4th string. So when we play the pattern, we're going to slightly alter it to fit that range of 4 strings starting from the 4th string. It's the same rhythm, it's the same contour of the pattern, but it's a touch different because I've got to come back down to, it's pretty much the same thing, right? It's got the same shape about it, it's just on different string sets, okay? Different strings because of the nature of the D chord with the root note on the 4th string. So we've got G, 2 and 3 and 4, then D, 2 and 3 and 4. When we go to A minor, we've got to adapt it again slightly by just plucking the 5th string first in the pattern, not the 6th string. 1, 2 and 3 and 4, and the same on C. 3 and 4, right? So G, 1, 2 and 3 and 4, D from the 4th string, then A minor from the 5th, and C from the 5th. And there you go, you've created a pattern from scratch. We had nothing. We created a pattern. We created a rhythm to play to the pattern, to connect to the pattern, and then we've taken that and applied it to a chord progression and adapted it as we needed to. So essentially, it's just the first note you pluck will be different depending on the chord you're on. On G, it's the low string 6, as it was when we just played the pattern on open strings. D, we're going to move it up a few string sets to fit the chord D. A minor and C were the same because they've both got root notes on the 5th string, and then you're playing the pattern following after that. So there's one example of connecting our pattern or applying our pattern to a chord progression. Let's do another one here. Let's choose a different rhythm. Same pattern, different rhythm. So this one this time is going to go just on open strings, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. That's our pattern, right? From before. I'm going to use that one now. And I'm going to do a different chord progression. It's going to be A minor to D minor to E7 back to A minor. Okay, so on the A minor it would be this 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Okay, got to start it from the 5th string because A minor, root note on the 5th string. Then the pattern follows and the rhythm, right? 1 and 2, 3 and 4. D minor, like the D major in the previous progression, root note 4th string. So we're going to adapt for the D minor chord here. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Then we go down to E7. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. Back to A minor. right? So the rhythm's changed, the pattern is the same, so we've got some variety there, rhythmically speaking, and then we're adapting it to a different chord progression. A minor, start from the 5th string with the pattern. D minor, start from the 4th string. Still got the same contour after that though. It might be on different strings, but it's the same shape to the pattern in terms of ascending and descending notes within the pattern itself. Then E7, that didn't need to change from our original pattern on the open strings because E is the root note is on the 6th string, and then we returned back to A minor. So one more on that. A minor, D minor, E, and E7, and A minor. And let's do one more example here, okay? Same pattern again, gonna do a different rhythm with the pattern for variety and a different progression. So the pattern on open strings is gonna be this one. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. So that was the one where we had the 2 quarter notes first, then the 2 pairs of 8th notes to complete the bar. So our chord progression is gonna be A7 to E7 to D7 for 2 bars. So on the A7, we take the pattern, start it from the 5th string. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Okay? Nothing different other than the string you start from. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. When we go to E7, doesn't change from its original positioning, if you like, because the root note is on the 6th string. 2, 3, and 4, and. We go to D7, and like the D chords previously, it's on the 4th string, the root note, so we're going to move everything up, but it's the same rhythm, it's the same pattern, sequence of strings, contour, etc. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 2 bars of D7 there, so we had to play our pattern twice to make it fit. Okay, so again, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, bars there. Okay, so you can see one pattern can be expressed many different ways rhythmically, which will immediately build variation into your playing. And then when you've chosen a rhythm to apply to your pattern that you've created, then you can take it to a chord progression and tweak it to make it fit. And often it's just a matter of starting from the corresponding string, depending on the chord you're playing on, that the root note is on. And in doing this and mixing and matching, like you can change the pattern up from bar to bar if you want, and there's so many ways you could expand and multiply this, and that's what I encourage you to do. You could write hundreds of pages of just variations of this pattern being applied to various chord progressions. And the more you dig into it, the better you get at being able to do this stuff on the spot. And that's really the goal of this, is to not just build variation in your playing with patterns and working on your rhythm, as valuable as those things are. It's to ad-lib fingerpicking. Just like if you've been playing guitar for a while, you can pick up and strum and you don't have to think of a strumming pattern so much. You can just strum to fit the situation you're in. Well, we want to be able to do the same with our fingerpicking, and we want to be able to ad-lib that, not always have to rely on patterns and think of patterns. Okay, patterns are great. They build our technique. You play a certain song, there will be a pattern you'll want to follow. But when you just ad-libbing, making things up, jamming with friends, jamming along to tracks, all that sort of stuff, this exercise, step 1, 2, 3, in creating a fingerpicking pattern is going to serve you really, really well in doing that.
If you liked this video, you'll love this ebook complete with video examples called Quick Start Fingerpicking. 5 simple ways to sound great fast. If you're new to fingerpicking or have tried before but feel stuck, you're just 5 simple hacks away from creating beautiful fingerpicking music. Inside this ebook, you'll find proven techniques designed for beginners that deliver almost instant results. Forget the complicated exercises and boring practice drills. These fingerpicking hacks will help you play music that sounds rich, advanced, and downright impressive from day one. Click the link in the description below this video and download your free ebook complete with video examples, Quick Start Fingerpicking, 5 simple ways to sound great fast. You'll have it in your inbox within minutes.
Let me know in the comments section what acoustic guitar topics you would like to see in future videos. And indeed, if you've got any questions on today's video, just put them down below and I'll be sure to get to them. I love to hear suggestions. A lot of them do become videos later on the channel, so don't be shy, drop us a line. If you like this video, then hit that like button. And if you haven't already and you like the content I release each week, then hit that subscribe button and the notification bell button so YouTube can tell you when I've released a new video. This is Simon Candy from acousticguitarlessonsonline.net. Thank you so much for sticking around and checking this video out. I really do appreciate the time you take to do so, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video.